Hey guys, Jamal here, just coming here. I've had a bunch of questions lately about the 4 emails that go into the autoresponder after you get down to the daily action steps. I know the video that's in the 30-minute workday is a slight bit different. It's kind of more like theory than actual steps. So I wanted to do a little video and show exactly how to do that. Trying to get this light out of there. Oh, can't do that either. Sun's shining through my green screen. So anyways, I'll do a quick video here. I've shown a bunch of people the last couple of days how to do this. It's a fairly simple process, but there's a lot of steps. So let me go ahead and start the process here. I'll go over here and share my screen. So what we want to do is we want to go to getresponse, of course. Go ahead and log into getresponse. And then you'll see in mine, let me move my picture here. Where will be best? This will probably be best once we get logged in. Let's see if I can stretch this out just a little. Alright. I lost my picture. Let's see. I'm gonna take me right off the screen for now. Take me right here. So once you get here, I tell everybody, be sure to click on list right here, because anything else is going to take you into a different sort of direction. So I always like to click on list first, and then that will make this make more sense. My picture is really going to be in the way here. Can I just share my screen? I don't have a screen without my camera, so I don't want to delete this, so I'm going to move me out of the way completely, and then that'll be fine. Okay, so once you get here, you'll probably have 1 or 2 email lists. Some of you are starting to get leads inside of here. So all you want to do is come in here and, come to your list that has a lead or 2 or 5 or 10 or whatever you got in there, and then come over here to the dots and show autoresponders. Okay, and that's going to come into your emails. Now you should probably only have create autoresponder. Most of the people that I've been working with don't have 2 blue buttons; they only have 1 blue button, and that's because my system is an older system, and eventually I'm probably going to lose my 2nd button. And I don't know. I'm torn. I like both fairly well. So, anyways, so we'll continue on here. So you're going to hit create autoresponder. I'm going to hit create autoresponder beta so that it looks like yours. And then when we come in here, you got to kind of know which autoresponder you're doing. So in order to do that, you have to determine from this page where that's at, right? Those are not the right ones. So let me go to a different one. So you go back to list, and then let me go to 30-minute workday system and go to show autoresponders. Okay, so your cycles should be day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3. And then these also should match that. So they should be day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3. And that will help you keep track of where you're at in your system. Okay? And all of the emails once you're done should be on. Okay? Now, so before you start, I know Perry, you have 2 emails in there, so you should have day 0, day 1. I think I even put a day 2 starter in there for you to finish up with. So you should be able to just click on this and edit and go right in there to that. But we're going to go ahead and create a brand new one, and we're going to determine, we're just going to say that we're on day 5 because we don't have anything in here after day 4. So we're going to call this a day 5 email. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create autoresponder, and I'm going to call this day 5. And then I'm going to call this right here the same thing. Make that, and if we match this up, this is going to make it the easiest way to keep track of that. Okay, so as long as you start with 0, progress 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have these match up, and then this should be same time as sign up. These should all be checked. And I know I'm going a little fast, but it's just for brevity, and if you need to go back and forth, you can. Linked list. Make sure that you changed your linked list to the list that has your leads, or the list that you're building an autoresponder in. And I say it that way because, like you see, I have a whole bunch. So sometimes I move it around to different ones. Okay, and then after that, you set up your from email, And most of you should only have one email address in there, so just that should be pretty standard. Again, I have multiple ones, so I do have some selections in here. You can set that up that way over here in your account. Okay, then you get to design and content. So you click on design message, and then some of you, I've helped you make templates. Some of you will have to use blank templates. So if you have made templates, if we've talked about that, go ahead and use those. If you don't, we're going to go ahead and use a blank use template right here on the blank. Once that opens up, always make sure to take this logo and this view online, and you can shut them off right over here. So you're going to go right over here to these little blue sliders, and then you're going to go back to layout. Okay. Now, a couple of you, I've made this a complicated situation that's going to help you better in the future. But for now, all I'm going to do is put in a text box right here, and that's where you're going to put in your email address. Okay, I mean your email that we're going to copy and paste in there. I usually recommend that you make this multiple boxes, that you use a text box, an image box, another text box, then a multi-box, and then another text box. But that's complicated. It's hard to show in this video, and it doesn't work really well if I've not worked with you to set that up. So the easy way to go about this, especially while you're getting started, is use one text box. If I've helped you get those set up, try to follow those by text, picture, text, and that'll make the most sense to you. Okay, you didn't see my count off, but I did text, picture, text, and then that should be easy for you to follow. That gives you room also for a PS, but we're going to put it all in this one box, and that'll be that. All right, so continuing on, we're going to go over to Get 30-Minute Workday. And then we're going to go right over here to Daily Action Steps. All right, right over here on the sidebar, Daily Action Steps. And then we're going to scroll down here. Now, you're going to do this basically the same for every email you do. Newsletters are slightly different on the sending part. Most of you, I've shown that, and I'll include it in the end of this video so that you can see the differences on the sending part. Okay, so once you get down here, and I like to describe it by going all the way to the bottom and then scroll up just a little bit to these 3 links, and then you're going to look for this link right here. Will open up your 4-message autoresponder series. If you're starting with email 1, you can copy this section right here, and basically all you're going to need to do is copy this down. I'm actually, I put in email 5, so this isn't even, we don't have an email 5 in here. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to come back over to GetResponse. Okay, and then I'm going to paste this right in here. Now, after I do that, then I'm going to go back over to the 30-minute maximize your results link, and this is the your direct reg link that you want to use. So you're just going to copy that. You're going to come back over to email marketing. You're going to highlight over these your direct reg links. And then you're going to come up here to this. Well, you're going to just paste in right over top of this. And I've shown most of you guys that. And this version, if you highlight over it and you get the little hand, it has a link. If you don't get a little hand, then you need to add a link. And you need to do that right here. Then the same thing. You can add this where it says click here to access. You can highlight that. You can come up here to the link and you can paste in your affiliate link. Okay, and I like to do that once in a while as well. So then you do that for all of these reg links, right? No big deal. Then also we want to change out this first name right up here and just change it out for the little guy with the pencil, and then come down here to first name, and it'll turn into this little bubble that lets you know that it's working. So we'll scroll down through, we'll see if we got any others in here. Doesn't look like there's any more links. There's a your name, so make sure you change that to your name. I'm going to put Jim Hall. Actually, I'm going to put Jim and Christy Hall because that's what I always put. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to select all. So I right click and select all. And then I come here. I like to do Verdana or Verdana, whatever you want to call that. And then 16 or even 18. 16 is pretty good. And then I come in here and I take away any really blatant big spacing. These look pretty good. There's actually 3 spaces there. I don't use, I don't usually like to take away more than, I like to leave some space because it makes it a lot easier for people to read. So this looks pretty good. And then what you can do before you send this out is you can come up here to test and preview, and you can do a preview, and that will let you come down through here and highlight, make sure you get a little hand on everything. If you had a picture, you would also do a picture. Pictures, whoa, what did I do? Okay, let's go back to where we were. Maybe I can come back here. No, that's going to delete everything out. Let's see, let's go back to design. Okay, next. We've deleted. That's okay. We're going to start all over. So we're going to do text. So don't push your back button because that's not a good idea. And then we're just going to do the blue and the blue. And then we're going to have to go back over to see mistakes happen. All you got to do is overcome. No big deal. Paste it in. Go back and get your register link. So you guys got double the learning here. And I know this is fast, right? But this is fast. This is a really simple business. It's really easy to take care of this stuff. I do all this stuff in minutes, from start to finish. So, I mean, I realize it's new, but we got to get. See, I can do copy and paste way better than I can do typing. So we got to get through it. We got to understand, and then again, change your first name up here. That this is not as challenging as it seems, okay? And then just select all. I wanted to do this right here. Where was that other one? Do that. Click here to get access, just because I like that, and paste that in there as well. Again, if you had an image, let me show you how to do images since we're here, because I want to make sure that you're adding images. All you have to do to add an image is just drag an image on your board like this. Click Browse. Add a file. Select a file from your computer. You can select whatever file you need. You also have files here under free getresponse images, so you can use those. And then there's even GIFs over here you can use. Okay, so I like to always have a picture. I'm just going to use one just so that you get the idea. And then always, always, always add a link right over here underneath of the little picture, and then put a link to that also. The whole purpose of adding a picture is to add a link. Okay, so anytime you have a picture, if you can get a picture in there, don't put it at the bottom, don't put it at the top. So I usually like to break my emails up by, splitting them in half, and then putting the picture up toward the top, like maybe under this first bit right here. So that's how I do it, because people like to click on images. So that pretty much has this. We're just going to select all of this, and we're going to change our font to Verdana to 16 or 18, whichever looks good to you. I like 16. Sometimes I use 18, and then I'm just going to look over. Again, if you go to preview, be sure to go back to layout here. Don't push the back button. So go to back to layout, and that'll send you back here, and you'll be good. Then go to next. And then I always like to check a few little things when we come back. Check your day 5, same time. Make sure all your things are checked off here. And then your subject line, all right? We didn't put in a subject line for this one. So see, that's why it's good to check stuff over. And the subject line for this email is, hooray, you made it. Doesn't matter a whole lot, just so that it's really close. I mean, maybe you put these dots in here. You can just copy it and paste it, right? If you really want it to be exact, just copy it. Come back over here, paste it in. I do like to point out that you can put your little first name here, so you could put hooray first name. It won't come in like the bubble, but it will be there. And then I don't put any punctuation around the name, and I don't change this to lowercase because sometimes the first name doesn't go in. This preview text is a secondary subject line so that it doesn't take the first line inside of the email. So, as you understand what that means more, make sure to utilize that as well. It's a pretty neat feature. And that's probably about the only thing I like about this version more than I like the other version. Okay, So then after that, okay, everything's done. You only want to have this one here, and you don't have, most of us don't have Google Analytics. I don't even use it, so don't worry about it. And then do save and publish. And that will, if you save and publish, that will turn that message on. Not sure where it actually went. Yeah, because it goes to the wrong place all the time. Anyways, what did I call it? Day 5? Who knows where it went? I had it linked to Jimby, right? So it's missing. No big deal. That's how you find them. Wherever it was linked to, check it off, and it will be there if you make sure you checked it off and push the button properly. So apply. Here it is. Day 5, right down there on the bottom. And that's it as far as autoresponders go. Let me show you the difference now between, now what do? We go back to lists. Always go back to lists. That's the easiest way to make sure you're at the right place. And then we're going to do a newsletter. A newsletter is what you send on a daily basis. So the difference between an autoresponder and a newsletter is, we're going to create a newsletter. Okay, you're going to have the same title message. You don't have a day message because you don't have a series. You still have a subject line. You have a recipients instead of a linked list. Okay, you have a linked list for placement to show where it's at, but you don't. But you're sending it to recipients in this case. Okay, so you got to make sure that you add that, and basically you're going to add probably any line that has numbers on it. Those are your leads. Okay, and then after that, of course, you'll design your message. So that's designing your message is all exactly the same. And then you have a couple of options for sending your message for newsletters. You can send immediately. You can schedule for later. Okay, if you send immediately and you check this off, this is going to cause it to learn when people are opening your email. So if you're doing a daily email and you're sending it immediately and you're clicking perfect timing, you'll tend to get overlapped emails. So I don't recommend you do that. If you're going to use perfect timing, you should schedule for later and schedule it for midnight tomorrow, and then always schedule your emails for midnight tomorrow. Okay, and that way you won't overlap each other and be competing 2 emails for the same time frame, because it will send them one right after another, and one of your email won't get any opens because everybody's like, look at this, the guy sent me 2 emails at the same exact time. Okay, a couple other options is time travel. What time travel does is turns on the time zones. Okay, so this will cause you, if you want to send a breakfast email, a good morning email, you can set this up for, let's say, 6:30 a.m., right? And then you hit that time travel, and that will send that out at 6:30 a.m. in every time zone around the world. Okay. Now, also, let's say that you have a webinar Wednesday night. We have webinars at 9 o'clock. Thursday night we have a webinar at 8 o'clock. So on Wednesday, I usually send an email about 6:30 p.m., right? Doesn't have to be exact. And then in that email, I will say, hey, in 2.5 hours, the Power Hour is live. And then I'll send this out exactly like this. No perfect timing, no time travel. Okay, because we want it to go out at 6:30 p.m. My power just went out, and how I'm still on here, I don't know. That is very interesting, because I'm on my PC, so I don't know how I didn't go out. Okay, so being that said, it's about to get nasty outside. I want to recap just a minute, make sure I got everything in here. Schedule for later. Basically, if you want to schedule for later for anything, that's the best way to go about it. Perfect timing and time travel, they are used. They're very good features. They're just, you need to understand exactly how to use them. Okay, and then once you put in your recipients, let's just say we send to Jim Rohn Quotes, and you have a subject and a letter. I don't think it'll let me send without a letter. Anyways, I'm just going to demonstrate. If you schedule for later, it's going to say, congratulations, it's set up and ready to send. If you send immediately, it will give you 60 seconds to cancel it. And if you cancel it, it will come up here and go into your drafts. So if you cancel and make sure to title this the same as your subject line in this case, so that you can keep track of them inside of your inside of to get results, and that's something we can talk about at another time. But that's pretty much it. It's not overly complicated. We've gone through all the steps, and that should help you through it. If your screen doesn't look like this for some reason, send me a message and I'll do the other one. But I mean, everybody I've worked with has this type of screen. If you don't have this one, then you might as well use the beta, because you're going to have this one coming up soon. So you might as well get used to it. It's not too bad. I kind of like it, actually. That's all I got. I'll see you soon.